Hello, and welcome to the course. The purpose of this short video is to give you an orientation and overview of what you can expect in the course and what you're responsible for each week. When you go into Blackboard, you'll see that we'll have announcements listed here, and when I have announcements, I'll make sure to post them here and I'll send you an email with the same announcement. Over here it says watch first to get started, so this is the orientation video that you're actually watching right now. I want to point out that we have our syllabus here, so you can download the syllabus and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so be aware that this class is 100% online. So you can email me at my Gmail account because this is attached to my phone. And if you have any questions, just email me there, or if you have any concerns, and that way I can respond to you immediately. This is the textbook that we'll be using for the course. Essentials of Governmental Not-for-Profit Accounting by Copley, McGraw-Hill, and this book is the 13th edition. There is no online software that you have to purchase. You don't have to purchase any e-textbook. As long as you have this book, that's all you need. This is how our grade will be determined in the course. You see that we have 3 different exams. Each exam is going to be on Blackboard. So I'll create a folder in Blackboard for exam number 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll give you more instructions later on, but you can click on a link and then a timer will start and then you can take the exam. I want to point out that exams are going to be a combination of multiple choice questions, short answer, and problems. The exams are going to be open note and open book in nature. And once you start the exam, you have to finish in one sitting. So you can't start the exam, take the exam for an hour, take a nap, come back, and then continue the exam. Once you start, you have to finish. For discussions, make sure that you post at least twice for full credit. Okay, so discussion is pretty easy to get full credit. I'm looking for 2 posts per week, so you can do any 2 posts you want. This is a minimum. Of course, if you want to do more posts, you can do that. I'm looking for accuracy, content, and substance. So if you post a question like, I didn't understand chapter 3, or if you respond to somebody and say, I agree, that's not going to count very much for your discussion grade. You can see the schedule here. So for the schedule, I have some optional assignments. These assignments here are not going to be collected. You can do these on your own, and I give you the answers to these assignments. You can see that the week generally starts on a Monday. You can see week 1 actually starts on Saturday, but the week ends on a Sunday. So July 19th is a Sunday. Week 2, you can see, starts on the 20th of July, which is a Monday, and it ends on Sunday, which is the 26th. Now, I want to point out that all assignments for the week are due on Sundays. You can see the 19th is a Sunday, and so is the 26th. And the assignments are due at 11:30 p.m. I'll make sure that I send you an email to remind you. I want to point out for week 3, it's called week 3, but this is actually 2 weeks if you do the math. So the 27th of July through the 9th of August is actually 2 weeks, even though I call it week 3. That's because we have our first exam. So I don't want to give you 3 chapters and an exam all in the same week when it's your first exam, so that's why this is 2 weeks. Weeks 4 and weeks 5, these are both 1 week in length. So you can see the exam dates here. If you go on Blackboard, we'll go under Course Content. You can see I have folders for each week. So let's take a look at week 1. So for week 1, I have a lecture video that's put on YouTube. So that way, if you want closed captioning, you can watch the video with closed captioning. And I also have lecture notes. Okay, so you can see I have a couple of different lecture notes. And these lecture notes are going to be covered in the lecture video. Also, you see I have Chapter 1 lecture notes filled in. Okay, so in the lecture video, you'll see that I will be typing in the notes, and I'll be adding additional things. So I'll fill in the lecture notes, and I have a copy of the filled in version here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Lecture 1 video. In Chapter 1, we'll be looking at 3 different handouts. We have the Chapter 1 lecture notes, Chapter 1 fund types, and Chapter 1 financial reporting under GASB 34. We'll discuss how the different funds fit together for state and local governmental accounting. Okay, so let's go back to the Blackboard site. And if we go back to the Blackboard site, you can see that the lecture video mentions that the video is going to be discussing 3 different handouts. So you can see the lecture note handout here, fund type handout, and financial reporting handout. These handouts are always going to be in Word format in case you want to type additional notes in them. And when you watch the video, you'll notice that the video contains different additional things that I type in. So the filled in version is here. Okay, so this version here, let's take a look at it. Okay, so when you watch the video, you can see I highlight certain things. I type additional things into the notes. Okay, so I give you a copy of that as well, so you can have it. Okay, so each chapter has a lecture video and the notes, which are here. And I also have some practice quizzes. These are strictly for practice. I have the answers at the bottom of the quiz, so you can do these for extra practice. I also have the PowerPoint presentation for each chapter and the solution manual for each chapter. I would say the most important thing each week are the lecture videos. Make sure you watch the lecture videos because the material on the exam comes from the lecture notes. I also have a Fat Wiley, so these are extra questions. So these are multiple choice questions. A lot of times people say they don't have enough multiple choice questions, so I put this online for you so you have extra multiple choice questions that you can work on if you want to. And of course, I have the solutions. So for each week, make sure that you watch the lecture video, and each week you're responsible for participating in discussion. Okay, so you can see here, post twice for full credit. If you go to the discussion board right here, you can click on Chapter 1, and I have a lot of different questions. You only have to worry about answering 2 of the questions. If you have another question, you can certainly create a thread and add another question, but here I ask you for an example of interperiod equity. Okay, so you can click reply, and then you can type in your response. Another example of interperiod equity would be, okay, then blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's how you use the discussion board. Okay, again, when we have our exams, I'll create new tabs here for the exams, and then I'll send you an email with more information on the exams. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know, and welcome to the course.